All new on the WHAS 1119. Residents in the small town of Bloomfield demanding answers from their mayor.
I've never seen a government official in Nelson County not want to give their side of the story.
Their concerns taking over the first city council meeting since a shakeup in city leadership. Plus, the status of Louisville's jail. An investigator updating Metro Council for the first time since the release of a 400-page report. How he recommends the problems be fixed. And then, partnering Louisville police officers with local kids. How they're building relationships and self-confidence at the same time.
It's quite an honor. We don't take it lightly, and it's just been a blast.
Right now on the WHAS 1119. Days after a shakeup in leadership in the small Nelson County town of Bloomfield, the community is demanding answers. Thanks for joining us on the WHAS 1119. I'm Bobby McSwine, in for Doug Profit. Tonight was the first council meeting since the mayor fired the town's police chief and city clerk, and residents say they want to know why. The night team's Taylor Woods and photojournalist Ian Hardwood traveled to Bloomfield tonight to hear their concerns.
More than a dozen Bloomfield residents came to the American Legion demanding answers before a special city council meeting.
I was fired for being an honest police officer.
Mayor Chris Dudgeon fired Police Chief Steve Cameron and City Clerk Karen Biederman last Friday. 3 other employees resigned. Cameron Biederman and now former Public Works Superintendent Travis Clerk tell us they believe the firings were in response to an ongoing investigation into the misuse of city funds. Nelson County Sheriff Ramon Pinaroa previously told us his office would be taking over that investigation.
We want answers for firing this fine gentleman.
Despite not having public comment on the agenda for tonight's council meeting, residents still showed up with their concerns for Mayor Dudgeon.
I've never seen a government official in Nelson County not want to give their side of the story.
The mayor responding there would be an opportunity to hear concerns at another time.
We will have public comment at our next regular scheduled meeting.
At one point, Sheriff Pinaroa told the crowd to respect the meeting agenda.
But under a special hearing, a special meeting, special call meeting, you have no public speaking.
Councilman Ken Lamone says he does want to give the public an opportunity to speak, adding he plans to have a special meeting with the council for public comment.
Well, that's what this should be about, is, we've got people that are unhappy, myself included, and they just want to be heard.
While Mayor Dudgeon didn't elaborate on the reasons for the firings tonight, he previously told WHAS 11 the personnel changes would not affect the operations of the city or services provided to the citizens. In Bloomfield, Taylor Woods, WHAS 1119 on your side.
Today, an investigator updated Louisville Metro Council on the status of our jail. Last month, a 400-page report outlined concerning trends at the jail, saying the facility was risking lives. A year-long investigation by former FBI agent David Byer found an inadequate facility, poor supervision, lackluster training, and short staffing are largely to blame for deaths in the jail. In just a handful of months, more than a dozen people died while in custody. But he says Director Jerry Collins is working on those areas.
There were a lot of problems with corrections, and he had to try to fix the big leak, which was all the deaths that were occurring. But there are so many other problems at corrections that need to be addressed, and it's difficult for one man to do the micromanagement.
Biggest things Byers hit on was staffing and recruitment. Director Collins said the state corrections facility just raised their minimum wage to $28, and Louisville's is only $21 an hour. He said that makes us close to the lowest paying corrections facility in the state. Well, tonight, community members had a chance to weigh in on the city's new community care campus for people who are homeless. The mayor's office and Coalition for the Homeless held the hearing tonight at the site of the new project on East Breckenridge Street. The new space is designed to help to give more people access to a health care and a pathway to permanent housing. Tonight, we learn more about how the campus will be designed.
I believe 17 rooms with 2 bedrooms each and a Jack and Jill bathroom. It also has some like meeting space and intake space that U of L and Norton's are planning on utilizing. So that's really programmed. To the west of that is a commercial laundry. And so we acquired the laundry and the machine. So we have commercial laundry here, operational, still working.
The community care campus was announced back in January as part of Mayor Craig Greenberg's larger plan to address houselessness in the city. Currently, there is no timeline for when the facility will open. New tonight, a federal judge has ruled against trainer Bob Baffert in his final remaining claim in a lawsuit against Churchill Downs. The Hall of Fame trainer sued Churchill Downs after the racetrack suspended him for 2 years, following 2021 Derby winner Medina Spirit's disqualification for a drug violation. Baffert's final claim argued his suspension from the track and his properties, including the last 2 Kentucky Derby races, devalued his training license. However, in her ruling today, Judge Rebecca Grady Jennings wrote, quote, "The court cannot find that Baffert's Kentucky trainer's license was rendered valueless when he used it to win over $1 million racing horses in the Commonwealth." The same judge ruled against Baffert's other claims back in February. The trainer's suspension is set to end next month. Well, a JCPS history teacher and wrestling coach is charged with assault in connection with an incident involving one of his students, just 15 years old. That teen and Western High School student tells us the alleged assault took place after a wrestling banquet 2 weeks ago. He spoke with Connor Steffen today.
It was supposed to be the culmination of a hard-fought season on the mat.
They were giving out awards, and everybody was happy. It was hype.
For Western High School's wrestling team, freshman athlete Aniston Curry.
It's wrestling, so we're all going to be hyped.
The hype of the postseason banquet came with jokes and digs at the expenses of each other and at coaching staff, including Coach Damian Smith.
I thought I was just playing. He laughed it off. I laughed it off. He went back to his room.
But as Aniston describes it, those verbal jabs turned physical.
At what point did you think this is actually serious?
He came into the room and he actually said, "There he is. I've got him." And that's when he slammed me onto the table, put me up against the table. Then he started cussing and yelling in my face, and he proceeded to slam me on the ground.
The alleged incident took place about 2 weeks ago, post-banquet. Aniston goes on to describe the alleged abuse, saying the coach grabbed him by the collar, shoving him on the ground time and again.
I was pleading and begging. I was asking for help, like, somebody please help me. And everybody was just watching. There was a lot of people in the room.
Following the incident, JCPS had reassigned Smith from the classroom to a bus compound. Tuesday, JCPS police arrested Smith.
Judge, good morning.
Good morning. All right, Mr. Smith.
Appearing before a judge Wednesday, he now faces a misdemeanor assault charge.
Pre-trial report numbers are good. He does not have any criminal history other than traffic.
Given a $5,000 bond, the judge also ordered Smith to have no contact with any JCPS property. JCPS told us the following on the matter. Mr. Damian Smith is reassigned and not working with students as we follow our policies and procedures.
I don't think you should be working with kids after that. Because when you sign up to work with kids, you sign up to keep them safe. And that right there, if a kid gets you mad, I don't see why you should do that.
As for Aniston, he's finishing up the school year from home with remote classes. Come fall, the sophomore will start at a new school.
Yeah, it's just not okay. For him to do that, I just feel like that's very wrong, untrustworthy.
In Louisville, Connor Steffen, the WHAS11 night team, on your side.
Well, JCPS tells us the warrant for Mr. Smith's arrest was issued following a district investigation. Smith is due back in court June 9th. A Louisville man accused of kidnapping and sexually assaulting 3 young teens who were reported missing at the time appeared in court this morning. According to court documents, Brian Sauer picked the girls up on the side of the road, drove them to a park, gave them marijuana, and sexually assaulted one of them. Police say he later took them to a hotel in southern Indiana where the assault continued. During today's court appearance, Sauer had this to say as he was leaving the quick arraignment hearing.
Sir, do you have any questions?
Not really, other than these alleged allegations are just false.
Don't talk about
Okay, right, today's not the best day for that.
Absolutely. You have a blessed morning. Thanks.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
I don't believe in luck. I believe everything's predestined.
Okay.
A judge set his bond at $1 million full cash and ordered him to stay off social media completely. He'll be back in court on June 1st. Well, the man accused of killing Scott County Sheriff's Deputy Caleb Conley during a traffic stop faced a judge today. Stephen Shing appeared for his arraignment through video in Fayette County. He pleaded not guilty to his charges out of Lexington connected to a shooting and thefts after police say he shot Deputy Conley on I-75 near Georgetown. He has not yet appeared in court for his charges in Scott County, which include murder of a police officer. 1 year has passed since a gunman opened fire at Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas, killing 19 students and 2 teachers. It's one of the deadliest school shootings in U.S. history. Tonight, the community came together in prayer at a candlelight vigil, while at the White House, President Biden and First Lady Dr. Jill Biden held a moment of silence. The president then addressed the nation, once again calling for gun reform.
It's time to act. It's time to make our voices heard, not as Democrats or as Republicans, but as friends, as neighbors, as parents, as fellow Americans. And I'm being deadly earnest when I say that. I know for a long time it's been hard to make progress, but there will come a point where our voices are so loud, our determination so clear that we can no longer be stopped. We will act.
The families of the victims have also called for change. They say they also hope to see justice when it comes to law enforcement's response time.
We feel that there's no justice for the fallen 21, accountability, and I think that's what hurts the most.
We want answers, we seek justice, and we demand change.
Since Uvalde, there have been 673 mass shootings, killing 720 Americans.